This is Dylan Bishop. This is the interrupt portion of test 2. As we can see here, this is the interrupt for an external interrupt 0. We have it set up down here in our main loop where it's set up as a rising edge, and it sets it up for an external input, which we'll look at here in a second. Here we have, it looks, when it comes into the interrupt, when it senses a rising edge, it will come up and look if this variable stop equals 2 or not. If it doesn't, it goes down into this else statement, which stops the lights. So it increments this variable stop, and then it saves its state, the state in which the light is currently in, prints to that state that it needs to be all red lights, and then it sets the state time at 0 and the timer at 1, so that when it comes back to its main loop, this is a false statement and remains false. So it will just continuously print that. When the button is pressed again, it comes back up and this is 2. So it comes in and it will turn the light back to its previous state. So it resets the time, the state time and state count to 0. Resets this last state in which it was set, putting the save state into the light state. Backs it up 1 so that it can, when it goes into its process, it will re-increment in the main loop. So this here, we need to de-increment it to make it at the right state. And then it resets this stop variable, and then it will return to the main loop, in which it goes back into its full process. It'll start here and call its state and reprint all of its, and it'll go back into its previous state with the timer at 0. So over here we have it running currently. All we've done is, on this particular board, this pin here is our external input 0, which we have coming up and going down to our push button, which is wired up with a 5-volt positive coming in, and this is wired to a ground with a resistor as a pull down resistor. So as we can see here, we're already in this state. If I push this button here, we'll enter a all red state, and it'll remain in this for an indefinite period until the button is pressed again. Now I do have an issue and I have yet to figure it out, but I'm out of time. If I push the button again, it goes to that state, and when I let off, it goes back. I have to double press the button. So once it goes back into state, it's back at 0, so it has to count for 10 seconds, and then it'll do it again. So then it goes back and it'll come over here. We can do the same thing again. We stop it, and it goes back to it.